starting lineup is brought to you by Dairyland Foods. Dairyland Foods, we've called Vancouver Island home for over 100 years. Like a trusted neighbor, you'll always be able to count us for a fresh cup of milk. For the visiting team, the Victoria Mavericks. Leading off, playing second base, number 5, Josh Gale. Batting second in center field, number 11, Chris Faulkner. Batting third base, number 24, Duncan Blades. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 19, Lance Burrows. Batting fifth, number 25, the left fielder, Charlie Stratton. Batting sixth, number 8, designated hitter, Nikki Gibbs. Batting seventh and in shortstop, number 2, Jerry Gale. Batting eighth and catching, number 13, Connor Buckham. Batting ninth and playing right field, number 24, Jerry Campbell. And extra hitter, number 10, is number 9, Brendan Summers. Starting pitcher is number 12, Adam Sesford. Starting lineup for Victoria HarbourCats. Leading off, in left field, number 23, Nick Gibbs. Batting second and third base, number 9 is Ryan Faulkner. Batting third and second base, number 3, Rowdy Jordan. Batting fourth, number 53, the first baseman, Nikki Gibbs. Batting fifth and designated hitter, number 26, Hunter Vansaw. Batting sixth. Batting sixth and in right field, number 32, Jackson Bag. Batting seventh, number 39, in center fielder, Dustin Miller. Batting eighth and catching, number 34, Matt Clayton. Batting ninth in shortstop, number 2, Tanner Haney. And extra hitter, batting 10, number 51, Blake Wagon. Starting pitcher for HarbourCats, Hayden Goodrich. Umpire for today's game behind the plate, Ali, and on the bases, Sean Butler. And let's go down to Lori on the field with some pre-game festivities.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're so glad you could be here with us on this amazing Sunday afternoon. How many of you were at the game and the concerts yesterday? It was a lot of fun. For those of you that didn't make it, you missed a really good time. We hope to do that again maybe next year. It was amazing. As I said, it's an amazing day today, and we're so glad that it's people in the park. Youth.ca is here with us. They've got a tent set up on the concourse. Go and visit them. They've got some games and prizes up there, and we'll see them throughout the game today. Tomorrow, if you haven't already got your tickets, they're going fast. Tomorrow we will be playing a team from Cuba, and I know that it's going to be an exciting evening. Tomorrow's game is at 6:35, so don't miss out. After that, our team goes on the road. We are gone for 6 games on the road, and then our final homestand will be August 6th, 7th, and 8th against Portland with fireworks on the 6th. So again, if you haven't got your tickets for that, tickets go fast for our fireworks games. Make sure you're not missing out. And finally, at the end of August 24th to 27th, Baseball Canada Men's Nationals. You'll see this team, the Mavericks, this is their warm-up. There'll be teams from across Canada vying for the championship here at Whistlersford Stadium at Royal Athletic Park, so don't miss that either. I'd like to start today with our first pitch, and I'd like to invite Gavin, who's part of the Youth.ca group. So Gavin, come on over, we'll get you to throw out the first pitch. Gavin, you can catch it. Looks like Nick's going to come in.
Why do you want to do that? Yeah, you did. Kind of like Randy's phone in his
Ready. Another hand for Gavin from Youth.ca. Back up to you, Jim.
prize ribbon caps for singing the national anthem today performed by Catherine Beckett.
From Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park, it's the conclusion of this two-game non-league exhibition series this weekend between the Victoria HarbourCats of the West Coast League and the host team for the upcoming 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships, the Victoria Mavericks. Hi everyone and welcome into the Shaw Game of the Week on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV. We hope you're having a great Sunday afternoon. For producer Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck, my name is Mike Edwards. Well, although this is just an exhibition series, we had a really competitive game here yesterday that saw the HarbourCats edge the Mavericks 5-4. The Mavericks got on the board early with 3 runs on 5 hits in the top of the first inning, and their starter Connor Russell looked unhittable through 4 innings, but the HarbourCats were able to get to him in the 5th for 4 runs, including an A.J. Lewis 2-run jack. The decisive play, though, in the game came in the 7th when Dustin Miller came in to score from 3rd on a costly throwing error with 2 outs to break the 4-4 ties. The Cats took the opener in an abbreviated 7.5 innings, with play being halted early for the setup of the post-game Chilliwack concert. But tonight, or this afternoon, we will play the full 9, and it will be one final tune-up for the Mavericks, looking to acclimate themselves to this field and this ballpark before they come back here at the end of August for the men's national tournament right here in Victoria. Look at the game time weather here before first pitch, and it's a beautiful Sunday afternoon, 21 degrees Celsius, 69 degrees Fahrenheit. Sunny skies and not a whole lot of wind to speak of here at the ballpark as the HarbourCats have taken the field. They're wearing their gray pants and the alternate Victoria Muscles light blue uniforms. The Victoria Mavericks will be wearing their all-white home uniforms in this exhibition game. Check out the Victoria Mavericks starting lineup for this game. Josh Campbell, the second baseman, leads things off. Chris Faulkner in center field will bat in the 2-hole. Duncan Blades, the third baseman, is third. Lance Burrows at first base bats in the cleanup spot. Charlie Strandland, the left fielder, bats fifth. Nick Saginowicz, the designated hitter, is sixth. Jared Gale at short bats seventh. Connor Mountain, the catcher, is batting eighth. Jeremy Campbell, the right fielder, is ninth, and the lineup is rounded out by the extra hitter Brendan Summers in the 10 spot. Aiden Gojkovic gets the start for the HarbourCats, and he has started one other game, non-league game this summer, but his last appearance was a very good one, a 2-inning relief appearance in a 1-run HarbourCats lead back on July the 25th against the Walla Walla Sweets, as Gojkovic throws his first pitch of the game just outside. 1 ball and no strikes to get us underway here on this Sunday. Thanks for joining us on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV. This is Josh Campbell leading us off here in the top of the first. 1-0 pitch comes inside and actually tips off of the shoulder of Campbell. So that'll be a hit by pitch issued by Gojkovic to start the ball game. But just back to that outing he had on July the 25th against the Swedes. HarbourCats took a 4-3 lead thanks to a Harrison Spahn solo shot in the bottom of the 7th inning. And on came Gojkovic to record the final 6 outs of that game. Very little margin for error. And he delivered the 2-inning save. Allowed just a walk and nothing more with a couple of strikeouts over those 2 frames. So that was a very positive appearance for him. Today he gets the start here against the Mavericks. And he misses outside here on the first pitch to Chris Faulkner, the center fielder. And now Gojkovic delivers the 1-0. That one is high and outside, and it's 2-0. 4 straight pitches out of the zone issued by Gojkovic to Mavericks hitters to start the game, including a hit by pitch to Campbell as he tries to work his way into the zone here on 2-0. That one does catch the outside part of the plate, and it's 2-1. Just the 2-man umpiring crew for this game. And it's Kyle Yee behind the plate calling balls and strikes. Sean Weatherall will be roaming around the infield. Here's the 2-1 from Gojkovic. And Faulkner with a foul away, 2-2. We mentioned there's one final tune-up here for the Mavericks on this field before they'll be back here trying to win it all on home soil as the host team of the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships. Mavericks also hosted last year's tournament, which also was in Victoria, back-to-back years, the BC Capital hosting Men's Nationals. They went 2-2 in that tournament, started off a little slow, but won their last 2 games to finish strong. And this time around in late August, they'll be looking to win it all. 3-2 pitch is just outside, and that's ball 4. So Faulkner draws the walk. It's a hit by pitch and a walk issued by Gojkovic to start the ball game, and there's 2 men on with nobody out as the Mavericks look for another fast start to this game, which they had in yesterday afternoon's contest. Mentioned that 3-run first inning for them. This is Duncan Blades, who did not feature in yesterday's game, but he is a big bat in the lineup for the Mavericks, and he's expected to be a big contributor in the men's national tournament. Blades with a check swing punches it foul, and it's 0-1. Blades last year at men's nationals hit .429 with a home run and 4 RBIs in those 4 games for Victoria. And the 0-1 from Gojkovic is swung on and hit in the air to pretty shallow center field. Going back at first, now coming in to make the catch is Dustin Miller. And that's the first out of the ball game. So here is Lance Burrows now, the first baseman. Still 2 on for the Mavericks, and a chance for something here in the first for them. And now the first pitch from Gojkovic to Burrows is popped up, back behind home plate, and will get out of play. Time to look at the defensive alignment in behind Aiden Gojkovic this afternoon for Victoria. Nick Playa starts in left, Dustin Miller in center, Jackson Fagg in right. Ryan Ober at the hot corner at third base, Tanner Haney, the shortstop. Rowdy Jordan at second, Nikki Gibbs at first, and Matt Clayton behind the plate. There's a strike, 0-2, the count on Lance Burrows, as Gojkovic has been able to get ahead here in this at-bat. Seems to have found the feel of the baseball on the mound after a little bit of a wild start with the hit by pitch and the walk. 0-2. That one a little downstairs, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes on Burrows. Burrows went 1 for 4 with a run scored in yesterday's game. He was the DH in the cleanup spot. Today he starts at first, but again, batting cleanup for the Mavericks. That one misses outside and low. Good block by Clayton, but it's 2-2. So Gojkovic had a couple of pitches to try to go outside the zone and get Burrows to chase, so that he did not comply with either of the last two. So we'd expect Gojkovic to be coming in here on 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one is up and in, and it's 3-2. See if the Mavericks put either of the 2 base runners in motion here on 3-2 with 1 out. Here is the payoff from Gojkovic. And a foul back by Burrows. Will do it again. Still just getting underway here in the top of the first inning. The Shaw Game of the Week on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV. This is the last of the 2-game non-league exhibition series between the Victoria HarbourCats and the Victoria Mavericks, as it misses inside for ball 4 to load the bases. Nice at bat for Burrows as he draws the walk. And Charlie Strandland will be the hitter. Early RBI opportunity for him. Strandland started in right field in yesterday's contest and went 2 for 4. Today he moves over to left, the other corner outfield spot. And a big swing and a miss by Strandland on the first pitch from Gojkovic. So it's Josh Campbell at third, Chris Faulkner at second, and Lance Burrows at first, the base runners for the Mavericks. A 1 pitch is inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Gojkovic now set for the 1-1 pitch. And that one's in tight once again. That'll bring Matt Clayton out to the mound to have a quick chat, perhaps try to settle down his starter Gojkovic. Strandland is ahead in the count here, 2-1. And considering the fact that Gojkovic has issued 2 walks and a hit by pitch already in this inning to load the bases, this is a very important pitch here on 2-1. That one hits Strandland in the back, and that'll be the game's first run. A painful RBI for Charlie Strandland, but Campbell trots home to score. And the Mavericks are on the board first here on this Sunday afternoon. So Gojkovic just trying to settle into this game for the HarbourCats, and I think might have been amped up for this start on this Sunday afternoon, but yet to really get the feel of the ball in his hand, and I think just get some consistent strikes over the plate. Same time though, this is another bases loaded spot for Nick Saginowicz, the DH. Still only 1 out, and now a 1-0 Mavericks lead. Pitch misses down and away on the first offering from Gojkovic to Saginowicz. And now the 1-0. That one upstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Saginowicz yesterday did not get the start, but did feature in the game as a pinch hitter, went 0 for 1. But he starts in the DH spot here this afternoon for the Mavericks. And here is the 2-0. That's inside, it's 3-0. So the alarm bell is starting to ring for Aiden Gojkovic, who is already forced a run in via a hit batter. And he needs to throw a strike here. Nowhere to put Saginowicz on 3 balls and no strikes. And the pitch. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Saginowicz, I think, was taking all the way there. He might take another one here on 3-1. fouled back. 3-2. Siginowicz thinking attack, which is fair, I guess, with the bases loaded, but you never know with how Gojkovic has started the game. Still, the count will fill here to 3-2. And Gojkovic sets for the payoff pitch. This one's lined into right field and will get down for a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Burrows around third, and he is in there with a slide. It's a 3-0 Mavericks lead as Nick Siginowicz comes through with a 2-run single. And just as the Mavericks did in yesterday's ball game, scoring 3 runs in the first inning, they've done the same once again here today. And a chance for more still in this top of the first inning with runners at first and second and only 1 out. Not the start that Aiden Gojkovic was hoping for to this game. This is Jared Gale, the shortstop, getting a chance to hit, and he takes outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Gale yesterday went 2 for 4 with a double, and also scored a run. He was in the leadoff spot yesterday. Here in this one, he'll bat 7th, also starting at short. This one lined into left field through the hole. That'll be another base hit. Now getting the stop sign at third is Strandland, and he'll head back there. Everyone moves up station to station, and the bases are loaded once again for the Mavericks as Ian Sanderson, the pitching coach, is out of the dugout for the HarbourCats to chat things over with Gojkovic. So Sanderson and Clayton and Gojkovic will have a chat on the mound. Only 2 hits in this inning for the Mavericks, but again, 4 base runners reached on a couple of walks and a couple of hit by pitches. And those are coming back to haunt Gojkovic here. It's 3-0 with the bases still loaded and only 1 out. And the hitter now for the Mavericks will be Connor Mountain, the catcher. This is a spot where the Mavericks scored 3 yesterday in the first and then didn't get anything more until the top of the 6th inning. Mountain with a high fly ball to right field. Jackson Fagg coming in. He'll make the catch, bluffing at third, and going back is Strandland. So not quite deep enough on that fly ball off the bat of Connor Mountain to get the sacrifice fly, and there's now 2 down. But again, the bases still remain loaded here for the Mavericks with 2 out, looking for a big 2-out hit to try to make this an even bigger first inning. We talked about the fact that yesterday they were kind of shut down after the first in the run department. Trying to get even more here in this first inning to make it a tough hill to climb for the HarbourCats, even though we're still only in inning number 1. This is Jeremy Campbell, the right fielder. And Campbell lines one to center. On the run, making the catch is Miller, and he'll put it away to retire the side. 3 runs come across for the Mavericks in the first, and the HarbourCats trail 3-0 coming up to hit.
Leading off the HarbourCats, the left fielder from Cal Baptist, number 23, Nick Playa.
Back here for the bottom of the first inning on the Shaw Game of the Week on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV. HarbourCats with a 3-0 deficit to work away at here as they come up to the plate for the first time in this game. Adam Sesford, Adam Sesford, the starting pitcher for the Mavericks this afternoon, and he's pitching to Nick Playa, the left fielder leading it off for the HarbourCats. Ball and a strike, the count to Playa. We'll go through the full HarbourCats order in just a moment. 0-2. That one close, but missing to Playa. Sesford, I think, would have wanted that pitch, but it's 1-2. Playa with a bouncing ball to third. Blades scoops it up, and the throw across the diamond is in time for the first out. Well, after Playa now, it's Ryan Ober, the third baseman, hitting in the second spot in the lineup. Rowdy Jordan bats third. Nikki Gibbs at first base bats in the cleanup spot. Hunter Vansaw, the DH, is fifth. Jackson Fagg in right field will bat sixth. Dustin Miller, seventh in center. Matt Clayton, the catcher, bats eighth. Tanner Haney at shortstop bats ninth, and Blake Wagenseller, the extra hitter in the 10-man exhibition lineup, is in the 9th spot. So here is Ryan Ober, who a week ago was named the West Coast League Hitter of the Week. One ball and no strikes on Ober. This one comes inside and hits him on the leg. So he'll trot down to first base. Already 3 batters hit in this game. So a bit of a wild start for Gojkovic and Sesford. That'll bring Rowdy Jordan up to hit with 1 on and 1 out for the HarbourCats in the bottom of the first inning. Trying to get something back here in their half of the first after they saw 3 come across for the Mavericks in the top half. There's a strike, catching the outside corner to Rowdy Jordan, the versatile player out of Mississippi State. Ober with a small lead off of first after the hit by pitch. And Ober's now running for second. Here's the throw down, and it's thrown into center field. Ober will be safe at second, but he's not going to try to advance any further, as the HarbourCats will have a runner in scoring position now with 1 out. And it's a 1 ball, 1 strike count on Rowdy Jordan. Well, it was a very one-sided game to start with yesterday, with the Mavericks scoring 3 in the first, and then their starter Connor Russell going 3 perfect innings, sitting down the entire HarbourCats lineup in order one time through. This one is hit to short and over the head of Gale. Ober will stop at third, but it is a base hit for Jordan, and runners are at the corners with 1 out.
The first baseman from Florida Southern, number 53, Nikki Gibbs.
Ober, of course, had to wait and make sure that ball was not going to be caught before advancing to third base. Ordinarily, had that one being clear it was going to be a hit, Ober would have scored, but Nikki Gibbs has a chance to drive him in with 1 out if he can get one deep enough to the outfield. Gibbs, a guy with plenty of power, and he takes strike 1 here from Sesford. Gibbs with a drive out to left, and this will split the outfielders and roll up against the wall. In to score is Ober. Around third is Rowdy Jordan, and he will score as well. Nikki Gibbs gets the HarbourCats on the board with a 2-run double, and it's 3-2. So this time it's the HarbourCats responding right away in the bottom of the first. Off of Adam Sesford. That was a hard hit double into the left center field gap past Charlie Strandland.
From Mississippi State.
And we were talking about the fact that Gibbs has a lot of power. Showed it off there. On the West Coast League season, he's had limited at-bats. Just has 5 hits, but 3 of them are home runs. And now he has a double here in this non-league game to add to his overall stats on the year. And he stands at second as the tying run for Hunter Vansaw, who takes outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Vansaw starting in the DH spot here this afternoon for Brian McRae. And the 1-0 from Sesford is swung on and fouled off by Vansaw. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, it could be one of those offensive games this afternoon. Already 5 runs on the board, and we're only through an inning and a third. Vansaw takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Hunter Vansaw trying to come up with that base hit to tie the game, give Nikki Gibbs a chance to come in to score from second base. And the 1-2. Close but missing, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still a chance for Adam Sesford to work his way through this first inning with the lead, as Vansaw started his swing but held up, and the pitch just missed for 3-2. Good lead off of second for Gibbs, and the 3 ball, 2 strike pitch from Sesford. Vansaw driving the arrow to deep right. Campbell back, it's over his head and off the wall. Gibbs will score easily from second. Vansaw glides into second standing up, and this game is all tied up at 3. HarbourCats responding right away in the bottom of the first inning with the double by Gibbs, scoring 2, and now a Vansaw 2-bagger that cashes in Gibbs. And Jackson Fagg will hit next, the right fielder, trying to keep the line moving for the HarbourCats and try to now knock in Vansaw to give them the lead. First pitch gets a little bit away, but not far enough from the catcher Mountain for Vansaw to try to move up. Well, if you're Aiden Gojkovic in the HarbourCats dugout, you have to be enthused by the fact that he knows, I'm sure he did not pitch anywhere near how he would have liked to in that first inning, but he's now off the hook, and if he can settle into this game in the second, he has a chance at a bit of a second life here as it's singled up the middle. Vansaw gets the wave around. Here's the throw home. It's cut off, and the HarbourCats have scored 4 here in the first to take a 4-3 lead. And Jackson Fagg picks up the RBI with the base nog.
The center fielder, number 39 from Chico
HarbourCats
State,
will send their 7th hitter to the plate in Dustin Miller, the center fielder, here in the inning, as Scott Thompson is out of the dugout for the Mavericks to talk things over with Sesford. And again, this could just be one of those games where neither starter is really feeling at their best. And if that's the case, it could be a great day to be a hitter, to bring the bat to the park. Already on the Victoria side, Nikki Gibbs has a couple of RBIs with the double. Vansaw, the RBI double, and Jed Fagg, an RBI, Jackson Fagg, I should say, the RBI single. So here now is Miller taking down low, 1 ball and no strikes. And now Miller takes one in the zone to even the count, 1-1. Matt Clayton waits on deck. He's been a real model of consistency at the plate for the HarbourCats this summer. He'd love to get a chance to hit with 2 men on. Miller down the line, that's just foul.
A special welcome to some groups in the park today.
The count now moves to 1-2 as Jackson Fegg will be forced to return to first base.
Bonnie Dawson and Club International on the Strat coming to third base party deck. Welcome everybody on the Strat deck.
Adam Sesford is set for the 1-2. And that one misses for 2-2. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. And the 2-2. Miller just taps it foul, got a piece of it to stay alive. That is strike 3 called as the breaking ball comes back and catches the outside corner. Nice pitch from Sesford. And Miller is down on strikes for the second out. Big pitch there for Sesford to stop the bleeding a little bit. Still a 1-run game at 4-3 for Victoria. Matt Clayton will now step back up to the plate to hit. And we talked about in the top half of the inning the fact that, yes, the Mavericks did score 3 as the throw goes down to second base and the tag is applied, and that's the inning. HarbourCats score 4 in the bottom of the first and have overcome the early deficit. 4-3, they lead it as we go to the second on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV.
Everybody at the CGI Group, great to have you up on top of the upper deck, the best managed point in baseball.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
All right, everybody, we got a special birthday today. We've got to make sure you're all paying attention. Someone in our ballpark is turning 95 today, been attending HarbourCats games from the beginning. Brought her family with her. Jean Mandrate, 95 years old. Give us a big wave. How about that? Happy birthday to Gale. Sing her one. We do that. Happy. Now make a promise that when you're 95, you'll be at the HarbourCats game 2 celebrating your birthday.
On to the top of the second inning, and Aiden Gojkovic goes back to work for the HarbourCats. And I don't think when he left the mound after that long top of the first that saw the Mavericks score 3 runs, I don't think he would have been expecting to come back out for the second with the lead, but he does have a 1-run advantage. And a chance here for Gojkovic to settle in the second and see if the HarbourCats can't get him some more runs as well. This one is cued foul there by Brendan Summers, the extra hitter and number 10 hitter in the lineup for the Mavericks this afternoon. Summers went 2 for 3, also starting in left field in yesterday's contest. That one well outside from Gojkovic. It's 2-1. This one's now up high on Summers, and it's 3 balls and a strike. Well, the command was the main problem for Gojkovic in that first inning. Allowed 2 walks, also hit 2 batters. Three and 1 is up high for ball 4. So another walk issued, number 3 for Gojkovic today to start the second inning. And he'll go right back into the stretch here to start the second. Back to the top of the order for the Mavericks, and Josh Campbell. Campbell was one of the 2 Mavericks that was hit by a pitch in that first inning, leading off the ball game. There's a healthy cut and a miss by Campbell. 0-1, the count. Now the 0-1, and it's just up high, 1 ball and 1 strike. That one, an 82-mile-an-hour fastball from Gojkovic. We usually see him in the around that 82, 83 mark, in the low 80s with the fastball. But in that relief appearance against the Sweets, he was really locating his pitches very well, and that's, I think, why he was finding success against the Sweets over those 2 scoreless innings. He's ahead here 1-2 on Campbell. This one's lined into right and will get down for a base hit. So Gojkovic did get ahead there of Campbell, but left that one, I think, a little too much over the plate, as Josh Campbell just had to get the barrel to it. Nice opposite field approach just to punch it the other way. So first and second, nobody out, and the Mavericks are threatening here to tie the game or perhaps take the lead back in the top of the second. This is Chris Faulkner, the center fielder, getting another chance. He reached via a walk and then came around to score a run in the first. And Faulkner takes one inside off the plate. There's a strike run on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. You can just see there Mason Shaw trotting down to the Mavericks bullpen down the left field line. Of course, these 2 teams sharing a pen with the some of the concert supplies from last night still in the HarbourCats bullpen. So Shaw will warm up. See how much longer Gojkovic goes in this game. Of course, a lot of that will depend on whether he is able to get the command back in this second. That one scoots away from Clayton, and both runners will move up. So trouble here for Gojkovic with 2 men in scoring position, nobody out. And a chance for the Mavericks, if they play their cards right, to score a couple of runs here to take the lead back without necessarily needing a hit. Count is 2-2 on Chris Faulkner. And foul tipped back to the screen. It remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. here is another 2-2. Little piece of it there and on the hands of Faulkner to stay alive, and then it caught Matt Clayton, the catcher, as well. Two straight foul balls by Faulkner, and it's still 2-2. That one's down and in, and it's full 3-2. This becomes a very big pitch, I think, for Gojkovic. Although he does have the base open at first, but still nobody out in the inning. Not something you want to use if you don't have to. Count is 3-2. And this one's flown in the air to right center field. This will be the center fielder Miller, and it falls in. Trotting in to score from third is the lead runner for the Mavericks. That's Summers. And it's tied up at 4-4. Not sure if the sun got in the eyes of Dustin Miller in center field or if it was a miscommunication between him and Jackson Fagg in right. But runners are now at first and second with nobody out. And Duncan Blades will get another chance to hit. Here's the Mavericks are thinking about coming right back and restoring their lead. So set to resume play here. 2 on, nobody out, and the first pitch from Gojkovic to Blades is up and in. 1 ball and no strikes. So we're all tied up at 4-4. Also 4 hits on both sides as well in the hit column. Once again, Gojkovic is behind 2-0. And Blades perhaps might have a chance to attack here. That one's up high again. It's 3 balls and no strikes. Here's the 3-0 pitch, and that'll miss for ball 4. Gojkovic just has really struggled to find the zone with any sort of consistency through the first 2 innings. And that'll load the bases with nobody out. Lance Burrows another chance to hit. And Burrows drew a walk, came around to score a run in the first inning. There's a big swing and a miss there by Burrows, and it's no balls and a strike. He was thinking attack right out the gate in this at bat. Why not? With the bases full, nobody out. Now the 1 pitch is catching the zone, nothing in 2. Burrows thought about the swing, but held back in the end. It was a called strike. And now the 0-2. Gets away from the catcher Clayton, and in to score is Josh Campbell to give the Mavericks the lead back here in the second inning. It's 5-4. Well, it's been a bit of a wild one here in the first 2 frames. Here in this non-league exhibition game between the HarbourCats and the Mavericks. Now runners at second and third. That's Faulkner at third base and Blades at second. 1-2 to Burrows, gets away again, and another run will score. Faulkner in from third, and it's 6-4. The runner at third now is Blades with nobody out. Burrows still the hitter, and he'll take one down and away. That'll fill the count 3-2 here to Blades, who still has an RBI chance here with that runner, or make that Burrows at the plate with Blades at third. As he bounces it foul on 3-2, we'll do it over again. Count is full, 3-2, and Burrows awaits the pitch. This one's shot through the hole into right field for a base hit. Blades will score from third, and more runs for the Mavericks, who lead it now 7-4 in the second inning.
Left field number 25, Charlie Strand.
Ian Sanderson back out of the HarbourCats dugout. We'll see if this is going to be another chat with Gojkovic or if this is going to be it for him. It looks like Sanderson's reaching for the ball, and in comes Mason Shaw for the HarbourCats to try to stop the bleeding. We'll be back in a moment.
Now pitching for the HarbourCats, number 17 from Yakima Valley Community College, Mason Shaw.
Back here on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV in the top of the second inning. Runs galore to this point in the game here in Victoria as the Mavericks lead the HarbourCats here in the top of the second, 7-4. And a new pitcher for Victoria, Mason Shaw, as the first pitch he throws is fouled away there by Charlie Strandland down the first base side towards the HarbourCats dugout. 0-1 as we look at Shaw's numbers on the season. Very good for the HarbourCats in the West Coast League. 3-1 with a 3.46 ERA and 7 appearances and 6 starts on the campaign. Here's the throw down to second base, and out at second is Burrows for out number 1. Nice throw by Matt Clayton down to the bag, an accurate one to get Lance Burrows trying to swipe second. So the bases are now empty with 1 out. Strandland is the hitter, and the count is 1-1. And Strandland takes low for 2 balls and a strike. Just to finish off the numbers on the season for Shaw, he's allowed 27 hits and 13 walks, along with 27 strikeouts in 26 innings of work. This one popped foul there by Strandland to even the count to 2-2. But Shaw comes in here to relieve Aiden Gojkovic, who just really could not seem to sort it out on the mound in terms of the command in this game. Shaw misses wide this time to Strandland. It's 3-2. Payoff pitch is drilled to deep left field. Playa looks up and it's gone. A solo home run for Charlie Strandland extends the Mavericks lead to 8-4. And although Gojkovic just couldn't find the zone getting the start for the HarbourCats, he did not give up all that much loud contact. But now Mason Shaw comes in and Strandland takes him deep.
Designated hitter number 8, Nick Siginowicz.
Now Nick Siginowicz will get another chance, and he is 1 for 1 with a couple of runs driven in. That RBI single back in the first. 8 runs on 6 hits here for the Mavericks, and we're still only in the second inning with 1 out, recorded by the HarbourCats. Count is 0-1. This one hit right to second base, and therefore it is Rowdy Jordan for 2 down. A line out to second gets Mason Shaw to 2 outs. Jared Gale, the shortstop, will now step back in. Gale 1 for 1 to go along with his 2 for 4 yesterday. He's had a productive series at the dish. .88-mile-an-hour fastball there from Mason Shaw, misses low and outside. Count is a ball and no strikes to Jared Gale. And the pitch from Shaw. That's a strike in the inside corner, 1-1. Count even here, 1 ball and 1 strike, and the pitch to Gale is fouled off. 1-2 now. The good news about this for the HarbourCats is that with them scoring 4 runs in the first inning, now they're down by 4 with the 8 put on the board by the Mavericks. But the good news for the HarbourCats is that it looks like they as well have brought their bats to the plate here this afternoon. So this game by no means is out of reach. Could be a wild one here this afternoon. We're just in the second inning of it. That one's fouled back by Gale. Count holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The one thing about this game, though, for the HarbourCats is that with a lot of important West Coast League games coming up, they don't want to overwork too many guys in their bullpen. As the pitch from Shaw is just a little up high on the breaking ball, going for the top edge of the zone. Count fills 3-2 to Jared Gale. This will, though, be a bullpen game for Victoria now, after Gojkovic lasted just an inning plus. This one's hit well in the air to deep left. Playa back, he's looking up at the wall, and it is going to one-hop the wall. Gliding into second base with a double is Jared Gale, and the inning is going to continue for the Mavericks with another man in scoring position. Connor Mountain now coming back up to the plate to try to knock him in. At first it looked like that ball had enough of high trajectory to get over the wall, but it actually landed just short in left center field. So Gale will settle for the double, and here's the first pitch to Mountain, which is outside off the plate, 1-0. Close pitch there from Shaw, but it missed to Mountain, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. There's a little half swing and a foul back. Mountain could not check his swing, and he foul tipped it back to the screen. It's now 2-1. Mason Shaw just looking for one more out, any out, to get him through this second inning and to get the HarbourCats back to the plate. It's been a long, stretched out frame for both Shaw and Gojkovic, and of course the HarbourCats fielders as well. As that one is in for a strike. 2-2. The count evens up to Connor Mountain. Jared Gale at second with 2 outs, and Mountain with a high chopper foul past third base. Count is still 2-2. And Shaw sets for the pitch. This one hit right to second, and a nice leaping play by Rowdy Jordan to end the inning as the HarbourCats see 5 runs come across the plate for the Mavericks in the frame, and it's now an 8-4 Mavericks lead.
Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. 10 cents each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How are you making donuts?
Leading off with the HarbourCats, number 34, the catcher from the University of Nevada, Matt Clayton.
Bottom of the second inning here in Victoria at Wilson's Group Stadium. It's an 8-4 lead for the Victoria Mavericks over the Victoria HarbourCats. Been a wild one to this point, and if you like runs, you've come to the right place, it appears as though, this afternoon. And I'm going to say the same thing I said for Aiden Gojkovic in the last inning at the start of the top of the second, that with Gojkovic allowing 3 in the first, he had a chance as the HarbourCats scored 4 in the bottom half. Gojkovic had a chance to settle in and get a second life, a second crack at this start. So I'm going to say the same here for Adam Sesford, who allowed those 4 runs in the first, now up 8-4. And he gets a weakly hit ground ball to first that Burrows takes himself to the bag for the first out. So it is a better start to this second inning for Sesford, who is pitching with a 4-run lead despite allowing 4 runs on 4 hits in that first frame. Here now Tanner Haney, the shortstop out of the University of Texas. Takes one down low, 1 ball and no strikes from Sesford to Haney. Haney punches one in the air to deep right, going back, looking up, and it's off the wall. Haney digging for two, and he'll glide into second base with a one-out double to the opposite field. Jeremy Campbell over there in right was playing pretty shallow, and Haney just punched that one all the way over his head and about halfway up the wall in right. So he has extra bases, and now it's Blake Wagenseller, the extra hitter, and the 10th man in the HarbourCats exhibition lineup. Wagenseller takes a strike, and it's 0-1 here. And I said it in the last half inning, but I'll repeat it, that this game is not by any means close to over. Not only are we only in the second inning, but the fact that runs have been all over the place here to start the game. Don't think we've seen the last twist and turn yet here this afternoon, despite the fact that the Mavericks still do hold a 8-4 lead. HarbourCats have plenty of time to chip away at it with Haney at second and the pitch to Wagenseller outside. It's 3-0. Well, coming up in the inning break between the top and bottom of the second inning, we'll show you the highlights from yesterday's game, a 5-4 HarbourCats victory. Show that to you in two parts as this one is shot foul over into the seats. That one just got over top of the netting that is only so high over there over top of the first base dugout. We'll hope that everyone's okay over there. Count is 3-1 on Blake Wagenseller. And a swing and a miss in the dirt. That was actually a 3-2 pitch, and the throw down to first to complete the strikeout for out number 2. So they'll take a 2-out base hit here from Nick Playa to knock in Haney and get the HarbourCats something to show for this bottom of the second inning. Nothing pitch from Cessford is in tight there to Playa. 1 ball and no strikes. Cessford trying to put up a 0 here in the bottom of the second and show his teammates in the field that if they keep adding to this lead in the top of the third inning, it could be a good day for the Mavericks, but Cessford misses downstairs here to Playa, 2-0. I think whichever pitcher and whoever it is, whether it's the starter or a reliever on either side, of course with Gojkovic, the starter, now out of the game, whoever can settle in and put some outs together is going to have the best chance to win this game. This one gets by the catcher Mountain and all the way to the backstop. Haney goes to third. The 3-0 pitch to Playa is going to miss for a 2-out walk. So Playa trots down to first base. Runners at the corners with 2 away now for the HarbourCats. Ryan Ober will get another chance. And we know all about the power he has, especially to the full field. Hit 3 homers in the games, not this past week, but the week before, en route to being named the West Coast League Hitter of the Week. Ober bloops one in the air to shallow right into foul ground. This will get down for a foul ball. So the count 0-1 on Ryan Ober, who again can change the game with 1 swing of the bat, and with 2 aboard here and a 4-run deficit, Ober might just be trying to make it a 1-run game here with 2 outs. Nothing in one. This one blocked by the catcher, but it does allow Playa to advance up to second. Not far enough for Haney to try to come in from third. So 2 men in scoring position now for Ober and the HarbourCats. Base hit could cut the deficit in half here. Swinging a foul tip there by Ober. It's 1-2. Nick Playa, good lead off of second. Haney at third base. And a 1-2 pitch from Sesford to Ober is coming up. Ober with a high chopper to third. Charging it is Blades. The throw across in the dirt, but dug out nicely by Burrows. And that'll retire the side. Nice inning overall for Adam Sesford, who puts a 0 on the board for the Mavericks. And it's 8-4 as we go to the third. Highlights coming up from yesterday's ball game.
This year, the RC Cars, we have Mason and his grandfather Lauren going to go at it.
2 runs in that frame, but neither of them were earned. This one's hit on the ground to second, could be 2. Bigford goes to second for 1, back to first, and it's not in time as Gale trots home to score from third to put the Mavericks on the board first here this afternoon. 1-0. They lead it on the RBI fielder's choice for Faulkner. No balls and a strike. And this one's hit into the gap in right center and will split the outfielders. 1 run scores as Faulkner trots in. Coming around third is the trail runner, and he will score as well. That's Burrows, and it's 3-0 Mavericks here in the first. This one tapped on the ground to short. Demeter scoops to second for 1, on to first, and that's a double play. 6-4-3, the HarbourCats turn it to end the top of the second. That home run was a big one, a 2-run shot there by Jordan as he flies one to center. Drifting to his right to make the catch is Faulkner, and that is another 1-2-3 inning for Connor Russell. He's through 3 perfect for the Mavericks. Now set at the belt for the 2-2. Vansaw drives one in the air to deep right field. Strandland back, it's over his head and off the wall. Ricketts is around third. He's getting the wave home. The relay throw to the plate is not in time. Another double follows right after as Lewis sends one high in the air, deep left field. Drifting back is Summers at the wall. He will watch it sail out of here. It's a home run. On to the third inning here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Mason Shaw back to work for Victoria. There's a healthy cut, but a miss by Jeremy Campbell, the right fielder. Leading off the Mavericks half of the third inning, they scored 3 in the first, 5 in the second to have an 8-4 lead as we head to inning number 3. Nothing in 1 pitch to Campbell is cut on and missed. Nothing in 2. Oh, 2 pitch from Shaw is just up high, and it's 1-2 now on Campbell. Campbell took a couple of healthy rips in this at bat. He is 0 for 1. So he takes a high breaking ball for ball 2. But I think Jeremy Campbell wants to get in on the hit parade for the Mavericks. The bottom 3 hitters in the order all have goose eggs in the hit column to this point. Still plenty of chances for them. But Campbell here strikes out for the first out of the top of the third inning.
Designated hitter number 9, Brendan Summers.
So a much better start to this third for Mason Shaw and the HarbourCats getting that leadoff man retired. This is Brendan Summers, the extra hitter who takes up high from Mason Shaw. 1 ball and no strikes. Now the 0-1 to Summers. That one close but missing. Perhaps a little low. It's 2-0. There's a strike from Shaw, just catching the outside corner. That one at 88, where we usually see the fastball from Shaw. 2 balls and 1 strike now. And that's strike 2. I think Summers thought about the swing, but elected not. Was it called strike 2 by Kyle Yee, the home plate umpire? And the count is now even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one's well outside. Easy take that time for Yee, or for Summers, an easy call for Yee, the umpire. But the count is filled 3-2 here with 1 out and the base is empty. And here is Mason Shaw's payoff pitch. That is strike 3 called, and Summers is down looking. I think he thought he had drawn his walk. But a couple of punch outs for Mason Shaw here to start the top of the 3rd inning. And we have seen Mason Shaw this season. Overall, we talked about the numbers when he entered this game. He's been very good, but Shaw is the type of pitcher that when he gets hot and he gets on a roll in a nice rhythm on the mound, he is very hard to hit. There have also been some times where he has not been in his best of rhythms, and that's when most of the damage has come against him. And I think he took a bit of time to get into that rhythm in the last inning. He did allow the home run ball to Charlie Strandland to make it 8-4, but looks like Shaw is settled in now. There's a breaking ball just missing low. 2-1 the count here on Josh Campbell. Back to the top of the order for the second baseman. Campbell in this game, 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch, a single, and 2 runs scored. That one comes up and in as Campbell had to back out of the way of it. Count is 3-1. Good hitters count here with 2 outs. Base is clear. Mavericks at risk of being held off the board for the first time in an inning in this game. And the 3-1 from Shaw. That one inside, it is ball 4, and so it will not be a 1-2-3 inning. As Campbell draws a walk, he's now been on base all 3 of the times he's come to the plate already in the first 3 innings. So Chris Faulkner is the hitter, or Faulkner I should say. He takes a strike on the first pitch from Shaw. Shaw now is going to step off and reset himself. That one misses outside, and it's 1-1. Just like Josh Campbell, Faulkner has scored a couple of runs in this game, 1 for 1, also a walk on his line. One pitch, slapped down the left field line. Runner Campbell was in motion, and he's going to come around third and get the wave in. Here's the throw home to the plate. It's not in time. And it's an RBI double by Chris Faulkner to make it 9-4 Mavericks. So just when we thought that Mason Shaw, with a couple of punch-outs to start the inning, had perhaps settled in, it's a walk and then a double down the left field line that gives the Mavericks another run, and they will not be shut out in this inning. And still a chance for more now with Duncan Blades stepping back in and Faulkner at second. First pitch here from Shaw misses outside to Duncan Blades. Blades 0 for 1, but he has reached on a walk and scored a run. And the 1-0 delivery is downstairs again from Shaw, 2-0. Decent lead off of second for Chris Faulkner. And the pitch just misses there. Perhaps a little below the knees to Duncan Blades. Count is 3 balls and no strikes. Shaw does have the base open at first if you want to use it here with 2 away. Perhaps he'd rather start fresh with Lance Burrows next. 3-0 pitch is in tight, and that'll be a walk. So Shaw does use that open base, and Burrows will get a chance to hit with 2 on and 2 out for the Mavericks.
Next inning break, everybody get ready. We're going to turn this place a little bit more purple. We're going to be throwing some t-shirts up in the crowd. Now batting number 19, first baseman Lance Burrows.
Burrows in this game, his 2 plate appearances, 1 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, and a run driven in. Another ball thrown by Shaw as he has now taken his turn to lose the strike zone, trying to get back in there. Here on 1-0 coming up to Lance Burrows. There's a strike, and it's 1-1. Chris Faulkner, the runner off of second. Duncan Blades at first after the 2-out walk. And the 1-1 pitch is hit right to third base, and Ober with quick reflexes sees it into his glove to end the inning. Mavericks get another one on the Faulkner double, and it's now 9-4 as we go to the bottom of the third.
They're turning the place purple. Everybody get excited. We got some t-shirts to throw up in the crowd. And they're very, very purple. Make some noise, everybody. We still got some more t-shirts coming. With used.ca. Turning this place purple. Leadoff hitter for the HarbourCats, the second baseman, number 3, from Mississippi State, Rowdy Jordan.
On to the home half of the third inning, and Rowdy Jordan digs in for the HarbourCats to start it off. Still Adam Sesford on the mound after he put up a scoreless bottom of the second, trying to do the same here in the third, as his Mavericks now lead by 5 after the Chris Faulkner RBI double that scored Josh Campbell all the way from first in the top half of the inning. Mavericks continue to swing the bats, and the HarbourCats will have to continue to do so after they put 4 on the board in the first. This one is on the ground to short. Throw bounced across the diamond, but it's in time. Nice play on the receiving end at first base by Burrows, as the shortstop Jared Gale didn't get quite enough on that throw. Had a high hop well in front of first base, but was still just had enough mustard on it to get Rowdy Jordan at first.
The batter is number 53 from Florida Southern, Nikki.
So Jordan is
Gibbs.
retired. This is Nikki Gibbs, the first baseman, stepping in. Jordan Gibbs and Vansaw scheduled to hit here in this inning. Then Jackson Fagg afterwards if the inning gets that far. Gibbs takes outside and low for 1 ball and no strikes from Cessford. There's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. Gibbs, his first time up for the HarbourCats, doubled in a pair to start the scoring in the bottom of the first for Victoria. 2 more runs would come in after that to, at the time, give the HarbourCats a 4-3 lead, but since then, the Mavericks have put 6 runs on the board to make it a 9-4 advantage. And since that first inning, Adam Cessford has looked much more composed and confident on the mound for the Mavericks as he tries to take advantage of the fact that his guys have got him 9 runs. Gibbs with a swing and a miss in the dirt. The throw goes down to first, and it's just in time for out number 2 to complete the strikeout. That ball just skidded a little bit away from Mountain, so he had to hurry the throw, but tossed an accurate one down there to first.
Mississippi State, number 26, the designated hitter.
Quickly 2 down for Adam Cessford, and Vansaw will be the hitter. Like Gibbs, he also doubled his first time up and cashed in a run. Then Vansaw came around to score a run. This one's flown in the air to deep left center field. Going back on it towards the wall. It is off the wall, and Vansaw has himself another double.
Level ground coffee, Andrew Lai, the information booth. Congratulations.
So it's a couple of extra base knocks for Hunter Vansaw in his 2 at-bats in this game. And Jackson Fegg will step up to the dish, trying to do what he did in his last at-bat, which was single to knock Vansaw in. Jackson Fegg into left. This one is caught on the run by Strandland, and that will end the inning. Cessford tips his cap to his left fielder, Strandland, who makes a nice play to end the threat. And it's 9-4, the Mavericks in front of the HarbourCats as we head to the middle innings at Wilson's Group Stadium.
The HarbourCats are proud to be providing live stream broadcasting throughout the season. Covering home games, brought to you by Clips Pictures and Go Live Broadcasting, rebroadcast on Shaw Cable. For more information, go to our website at HarbourCats.com. Time now for the RV base race. Get Harvey some exercise and see how badly Franco beat him from first base through second base and all the way to third. Harvey, are you ready? On your mark, get set and go! Franco's got some speed. Congratulations, Franco! You just kicked his butt. Now pitching for the Victoria HarbourCats from Avila University, number 16, Campbell River, Ethan Fox. Now playing second base for the Victoria HarbourCats from the University of Hawaii, number 10, Dustin Miller. Leading off for the Victoria Mavericks, left fielder number 25, Charlie Strandland.
Top of inning number 4 here at Wilson's Group Stadium, and it's a 9-4 lead for the Victoria Mavericks over the Victoria HarbourCats. A new pitcher here for Victoria, the HarbourCats in the top of the 4th inning. It's the lefty Ethan Fox, as Charlie Strandlin wastes no time, lining one up the middle into center for a leadoff single. So Strandlin, after making the nice play in left to end the last half inning and get his starter Adam Sesford through a scoreless frame, is able to step up to the plate and line one into center field to start the inning off the right way for the Mavericks. So Strandlin aboard. Here's the DH Nick Saginowicz. There's a strike from Ethan Fox, 0-1. Fox, a native of Campbell River, BC, out of Avila University in Kansas City. He's listed at 6'3", 215 pounds. That one just floats outside and misses for 1 ball and 1 strike. On the West Coast League season, Fox is 0-2, but he has a 3.66 ERA, and he's pitched especially well of late. This one hit up the middle, past a diving Tanner Haney and into center field. That'll be another base hit for the Mavericks, and Saginowicz is able to reach. But just back to Ethan Fox, he's allowed a total of 4 earned runs in his last 13 2/3 innings of work on the season.
For the Mavericks, number 6, Sean Murphy.
And he is capable of eating up a handful of innings for the HarbourCats, which I think they'll be looking for him to do here. Although this appearance isn't off to the best of starts with the 2 base hits back-to-back to start this top of the 4th. Pinch hitter here, Sean Murphy for the Mavericks, hitting in Jared Gale's spot in the lineup. This one's driven in the air to center. Dustin Miller puts it away. And that'll be out number 1 as Strandlin holds at second. So Sean Murphy retired, and now it's Connor Mountain, the catcher.
Who's sitting in section 10 of the main grandstand. Derek Reimer, happy birthday. Thank you for being with us today. Batters number 13, the catcher, Connor Moulton.
First pitch fastball from Fox at 87 on the radar gun, just in tight. Ball and no strikes. One away now in the inning. Still runners at first and second. Strandlin at second base, Saginowicz at first. Connor Mountain is the hitter. And he hits one up the middle. Demeter had a little trouble with it. He'll go to first for the out. Good composure there. That could have been 2, but after the bobble, Demeter was able to stick with it to make sure the HarbourCats do get the 1 out. And runners are now at second and third with 2 gone in the inning. And Jeremy Campbell will get another chance to hit. Mountain now in this game is 0 for 3. Campbell 0 for 2 to this point. One 0 pitch is up high, and it's 2-0 from Fox to Jeremy Campbell. Well, the Mavericks have to be feeling pretty darn good about themselves here playing on this field. They played the HarbourCats tough yesterday in a 5-4 loss, and they've scored 9 runs here in the first 3 innings of this game, with a chance for more here in the 4th. And that's, I think, some confidence that they'll get from these 2 games that other teams that are coming to the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championships don't have the benefit of getting. I know it is still about a month away, just a little under a month away. 3-1 pitch, hit slowly to first. Gibbs scoops it up, and he'll take it unassisted to the bag to retire the side. A scoreless frame put up by Ethan Fox. First time the Mavericks have been held off the board in an inning today. And we go to the bottom of the fourth, 9-4, Mavericks in front.
Are from the Use.ca department. We have Gavin and Jordan. Gavin and Jordan are going to race those tires out around from Chico State, number 39, the center fielder, Dustin Miller.
On to the bottom of inning number 4, and Dustin Miller will lead it off for Victoria as he slaps one right up the middle into center for a leadoff single. So the HarbourCats trail by 5 here as we begin the bottom of the 4th. Adam Sesford has now worked through 2 consecutive scoreless innings, so he is through 3, allowing 7 hits now and a walk, 4 earned runs along with 3 strikeouts. Matt Clayton now will get another chance to hit with Miller at first base, nobody out. And the first pitch to Clayton, that one came close to hitting him inside on an off-speed pitch there from Sesford. 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. Well, it was a wild start to this game with 7 runs in the first, 3 for the Mavericks, 4 for the HarbourCats, and then 5 for the Mavericks in the top of the second. Has settled down somewhat. We've just had 1 run since then as Clayton lines it foul on 1-1. It's now 1-2. But still plenty of time this afternoon for the HarbourCats to erase a 5-run deficit. Don't think the scoring is finished today, but could be wrong. That one's down and outside and having to block it on a knee. There was Mountain, so he couldn't toss a throw down to second base. Miller steals second. And so he is now in scoring position with nobody out. And the 2-2 to Clayton. Hit up the middle to short. Murphy gloves it. The throw across a little high, but in time there at first for one out. It's a productive one, though, for Clayton as the ground ball advances Miller up to third.
From the University of Texas, the shortstop, number 2, Tanner Haney.
That gives Tanner Haney a chance to knock in a run here with Miller at third base, only 1 out. Infield at its normal depth for the Mavericks, so a ground ball or perhaps a fly ball deep enough to the outfield could get the job done for Haney. That one misses downstairs to Haney on the first pitch from Sesford. 1-0.
Coffee from Mile Zero Coffee.
Here's a ground ball to short, coming home and scoring is the runner for the HarbourCats. Haney thrown out as Miller comes in from third, but it's now 9-5. So the single and then the stolen base pays off for Dustin Miller as a couple of ground balls to short get him in. HarbourCats get the deficit back down to 4 runs, and now it's Wagenseller hitting with the bases clear and 2 away. Wagenseller holds up on the swing, and it misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Wagenseller, a strikeout victim, his first time up tonight, this afternoon. This one's hit well in the air to dead center. Faulkner back, and he will make the catch, heading right back near the wall to end the inning. HarbourCats do get 1 on the RBI ground out for Tanner Haney, and we head to the 5th at Wilson's Group Stadium. 9-5, the Mavericks lead it.
Victoria is hosting the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. The tournament will feature the top men's baseball teams in Canada competing for the National Championship. August 22 to 26 here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Taking down right now to La Belle Matat, Thorpe for $500.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
Let's go, one more try. Nice try, Devin. With La Belle Matat, throw for $500. La Belle Matat, the best routine in Victoria. Located at 1215 Esquimalt Road. Thank you for taking part in that. The National Championship tournament again will feature the Brilliant Angels of Team BC with the host, Victoria Mavericks. One of 10 teams in the tournament competing for the national gold medal here at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. The tournament gets going with a home run derby on Wednesday the 22nd of August. Games get started in the morning of the Thursday the 23rd, with the final slated for the evening of Sunday, August 26th. The best teams from across the country advance in amateur baseball. Batting for the Mavericks, left fielder number 9, Brendan Summers.
Here is Brendan Summers to lead off the top of the 5th inning for the Victoria Mavericks. He takes a strike from Ethan Fox. Summers, the number 10 hitter and the extra hitter in the lineup for the Mavericks in both teams' 10-man exhibition lineups. 1-1 now the count. Summers will hit here before the lineup turns back over for the 4th time in this game. Josh Campbell, the leadoff man, waits on deck. Right back up the middle, past the mound and into center field for a leadoff single for Summers. Going just a grounder right back up the gut. Ethan Fox was the only HarbourCat who had a chance to keep that on the infield. He just missed the gloved stab attempt at it. So Campbell will step back in, and he has had a productive day at the plate. 1 for 1. With a single, a walk, a hit by pitch, and 3 runs scored. There's another liner foul into the seats. And again, not a whole lot of time to react over there. We had one of those earlier in this game. It looked as though everyone was okay, and so we'll hope now everyone over in that general admission seating is all right. This one gets all the way to the backstop. Clayton throws it down to second, and up to second base safely is Summers. So the count is 1-1 here on Campbell, with a chance to knock in a run now. Nobody out, and Summers at second. Pitch from Fox misses high. It's 2-1. And Fox is set for the pitch. Another liner up the middle. This one flagged down by Demeter. His throw to first is in time. So Campbell retired for the first time in this game. But it's a productive out as it moves Summers up to third base with just one out in the inning, and Faulkner now will have a chance to try to knock him in.
Number 11, center fielder Chris Faulkner.
First pitch fastball there from Fox, and it's up high. Faulkner ahead in the count, 1-0. That one missing as well for 2 balls and no strikes. Faulkner this afternoon 2 for 2 with an RBI, a couple of runs scored, and a walk. So a productive day already for him. Can make it even better here. He can try to knock in Campbell, but it's 3-0. Ethan Fox trying to work his way back into the strike zone. Walk, though, isn't the worst thing in the world for him in this spot. It's the 3-0 pitch. Does catch the zone for 3-1. Looked like Faulkner was taking all the way. Duncan Blades waits on deck. This one rolled over to second. Demeter scoops it up. The throw to first is in plenty of time. But a run does score as the two teams trade RBI groundouts here in these last 2 half innings. Tanner Haney with one in the bottom of the 4th. And now Chris Faulkner with one in the top of the 5th to retake a 5-run lead for the Mavericks. Bases are clear with 2 away now for Duncan Blades. And he takes a strike in there at the knees from Ethan Fox. And that is strike 2. Fox now threw an inning and 2/3 of relief. Allowed the 1 run on 3 hits. And the 0-2. That one downstairs, now 1-2 the count on Blades. So if Fox can get one final out here, looking for one more good pitch on Blades, will be halfway home as he misses downstairs this time, 2-2. And at the almost midway point of this game, the Mavericks have 10 runs on 11 hits. HarbourCats have 5 runs on 7 hits. That one misses a little low as well. It's 3-2. Duncan Blades trying to extend the inning and keep it going for the Mavericks as Fox delivers the payoff pitch. And that one's up high. It will be a 2-out walk, and the inning will keep on going for Lance Burrows. Burrows 1 for 2, RBI and a run scored, as well as a walk in this game. It's been a good day to be a Maverick hitter, that's for sure. And especially as we go back to the point I was making a little earlier in the ball game, the fact that so many of these hitters have had a good game here today. This one is hit sharply to short. Haney knocks it down, and he's not going to have a play. That was a fantastic display of glove work by Haney to keep that one on the infield, but by the time he gloved it deep in the hole, he had no chance to get Burrows. So 2 on and 2 out for Strandland, who will step back in here. But again, the fact that so many of these Mavericks hitters have had a good game here today at the plate already, only in the 5th inning, and another handful of them, including Kyle Orr, who's not in the lineup today. Orr had 3 RBIs in yesterday's game. Really bodes well, I think, for the Mavericks, who will look to stay hot and come back here in a little under a month and keep swinging those hot bats against the the men's senior teams from across the country. 1-0 pitch is foul tip back to the backstop. 1 ball and 1 strike. Strandland homered his last time up. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of RBIs. Here the count is even 1-1 with 2 runners aboard. Blades at second base, Burrows at first. And the 1-1 from Fox. That one high and well outside. Count now moves to 2-1. Both runners going on the pitch. Clayton's throw down to third, and it's not in time. Double steal executed by the Mavericks to now get 2 runners in scoring position. With 2 outs in the top of the 5th. They have a run home on the RBI ground out coming earlier in this frame from Chris Faulkner. But if Strandland can find some outfield grass here, it would give them a chance for an even bigger inning. Here is the 3-1. And a swing and a miss, 3-2. Full count here with 2 men in scoring position. And the pitch is outside for ball 4. I think that's going to be it for Fox, who has loaded the bases here. He did have that open base at first to use with 2 outs, but the bases are full with 2 gone in the top of the 5th inning, and a new pitcher is coming in for the HarbourCats when we come back.
Once again, folks, this series has been a preview of the National Championship Tournament we played here in Victoria at Wilson's Group Stadium at RAP and at Lambert Park, August 22nd to the 26th. Teams from across the country, including Quebec, Newfoundland, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Alberta, Ontario, and British Columbia. Team BC is the Whitlam Angels, and the host team, the Victoria Mavericks. We've seen the Angels this year, a good ball club back in June. We've seen the Mavericks here today. We had a chance to see what this baseball will be like that we played from August the 22nd to the 26th here at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. Some of the games in Lambert. Tournament passes are available. You can get a hold of Christian, the ticket manager at the office. You can actually go to our ticket office now and probably get tickets if you're looking to get the tournament pass. Get that all set up as well. For the Baseball Canada Men's Championship. Certainly be on sale this week at our office. Alex Burns from VictoriaHomes.com is your family realtor, supporting the HarbourCats since day one. If you're planning a move, visit VictoriaHomes.com, part of the Rehouse Alliance. And again, a reminder that tomorrow night, some history will be made here at this diamond. And in the West Coast League is Union de Reyes from the Matanzas area, Cuba, will be here to play the Victoria HarbourCats. The first time a Cuban team will play here in a baseball game. The first time that the West Coast League team will play a team from Cuba. The gates will open at 5:30 tomorrow night. 6:35 is the first pitch. Many special things going on with that game, some music, some different happenings around that game to commemorate that historic event. Now pitching for the Victoria HarbourCats, number 45, Eric Hagedorn. Batter for the Mavericks, number 8, Nick Gibbs.
On to the top of the 5th inning with 2 gone. Bases are loaded here. And a new pitcher into the game for the HarbourCats. We'll try to get the identity of the new pitcher to you in just a moment. It's Eric Hagedorn, and the DH Nick Saginowicz is the hitter in this exhibition game. A handful of non-roster players being added for the HarbourCats. One ball and 1 strike. And Saginowicz awaits the pitch. A slow roller to second. Demeter the throw on to first, and that will retire the side. So a nice job by Hagedorn to get the HarbourCats out of the jam. One run does score in the frame for the Mavericks, and it's 10-5 as we go to the bottom of the fifth.
Batting for the HarbourCats, number 50, from Pepperdine, Michael Malinchak.
On to the bottom of the fifth inning, and Mike Malinchak is the hitter. He will pinch hit here for Nick Playa as in the leadoff spot in the HarbourCats order. So Malinchak gets a chance to swing the bat here on this Sunday afternoon as he foul tips one off the catcher, Connor Mountain. 1 ball, 1 strike. New pitcher as well into the game for the Mavericks is Luke Lampard, the righty. A 10-5 Mavericks lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Pretty slow-moving ball game. A lot of runs on the board. A lot of base runners as well. 10 runs on 12 hits for the Mavericks. 5 on 7 hits for the HarbourCats. Here's the 1-2 to Malinchak, and that's a high fastball at 81 from Lampard, missing for 2-2. Big breaking ball just missed the outside part of the plate. And it's a full count here to Malinchak. 3 balls and 2 strikes to start the bottom of the fifth inning. 3-2 pitch is missing for ball 4, and Malinchak draws the walk. That'll bring Ryan Ober back up to the plate to hit. The HarbourCats cut the lead to 9-5 with Tanner Haney's RBI ground out. But the Mavericks were able to get that run back with a RBI ground out of their own for Chris Faulkner. This one's back up the middle, flipping it for second for 1, on to first. That's a double play. Nicely turned by the Mavericks. Did not look like they were going to have a chance, as that was a bit of a slow developing play, but they still get 2, and there's 2 away now in the bottom of the fifth inning.
University of Hawaii, number 10, second baseman Dustin Demeter.
So Dustin Demeter will now get his first chance to swing the bat at the plate. He came in defensively a couple innings ago to replace Rowdy Jordan at second, and Demeter pops it foul. A ball, no balls and 1 strike, the count. Demeter started last night's game, went 0 for 3 with a run scored. As he takes another strike here from Lampard. Nothing in 2 the count with the bases clear and 2 away. This one hit hard to first. Burrows gets it in his glove and steps on the bag to retire the side. Nice inning for Lampard. He faces the minimum in the bottom of the 5th, and we head to inning number 6, 10-5. The Mavericks lead the HarbourCats.
Fans bring today's tickets up to the new Elements Casino Victoria and receive your $5 gift while there. Enjoy the expanded gaming floor, which includes almost 800 slot machines and 26 table games, and live poker. Satisfy your taste buds while one of the 4 delicious dining options. You can also catch a show in the Platinum Room, Elements Casino Victoria. It's all here. The HarbourCats also want to say thank you very much to the commissionaires for providing security for all Victoria HarbourCats home games. The commissionaires trusted every day, everywhere, and safeguarding communities. Congratulations to Ashley Peters. You're the winner of a Tim's gift card from Tim Hortons. Ashley Peters, congratulations, and a gift certificate from the Village Restaurant for Darlene Prendergast. Darlene Prendergast, a Village Restaurant gift certificate. You can claim those prizes at the information booth from Mikey Latte. Now playing third base for your Victoria HarbourCats, number 13 from Washington State, Jack Smith. Leading off for the Mavericks. Third baseman number 6, Sean Murphy.
Eric Hagedorn back to work for Victoria after he came on to extinguish the fire in the last inning. Got the ground out to second to get out of a bases loaded jam. And so he comes back out to work the top of the 6th inning with the HarbourCats trailing the Mavericks 10-5. This is Sean Murphy, the shortstop, who is leading off the top of the 6th for Victoria. Murphy, Mountain, and Campbell will hit in this frame. There's a strike from Hagedorn. 1 ball and 2 strikes now the count. That fastball from Hagedorn touching 90 on the radar gun. That one at 91, but it missed for 2-2. Two and 2 pitch is swung on and missed. And that's a punch out for Hagedorn to start out the top of the 6th.
The catcher, number 13, Connor Moulton.
So here now is Connor Moulton. And he will hit with the bases empty and 1 away. Mavericks have slowed up a little bit offensively, but the HarbourCats just have the 1 run since the 1st when they scored 4. So still a 10-5 advantage. The Mavericks doubling up the HarbourCats. Hagedorn working quickly on the mound, fired across strike 1 to Moulton. Now the 0-1 pitch is in there, strike 2. Well, we mentioned the Mavericks are the host team for the upcoming 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. A lot of the players playing in this game, in fact, almost all of the players playing in this game will be on that team, plus a couple of additions. There's another strikeout for Hagedorn as Mountain is down looking. And there's 2 away in the frame. But just back to the Mavericks, the the Mavericks have a handful of connections to the HarbourCats that we will see in late August at the men's national tournament. Hitting with the bases empty and 2 away. Here is Jeremy Campbell, the right fielder. So he takes a strike. 0-2 the count. Number 1 rule of broadcasting school, don't start a new conversation with 2 outs. So we might save the HarbourCats connections for the next inning as the 0-2 pitch is outside. 1-2. This is actually a pinch hitter, Mitch Davidoff, getting a chance to swing the bat. And he takes one outside. It's 2-2 from Hagedorn to Davidoff. This is Jeremy Campbell's spot in the order, the number 9 spot. 2-2 pitch is strike 3 called. Davidoff down looking. And a nice inning for Hagedorn, who strikes out the side in the 6th. Then we go to the bottom half. Still 10-5, the Mavericks on top of the HarbourCats.
The pitcher for the Victoria Mavericks in his second inning work, number 44, Luke Lampard. Leading off for the HarbourCats, first baseman from Florida Southern, number 53, Nikki Gibbs.
Nikki Gibbs digs in to lead off the HarbourCats half of inning number 6. They still trail by 5 runs, a 10-5 lead for the Victoria Mavericks over the HarbourCats, and Luke Lampard back to work for his second inning in relief. Fires across strike 1 to Gibbs. Well, in the last half inning was just going to start talking about the connections between the Mavericks that we'll see in late August at the men's national tournament and the HarbourCats. Almost all of the players currently playing for the Mavericks will be on that team, but there's also going to be some reinforcements coming, including Garrett Goodall, who, if you've watched the HarbourCats this season, you'll know how good he's been. Was one of 3 All-Star selections in the West Coast League from the HarbourCats. As Gibbs strikes out, good breaking ball from Luke Lampard to get him for out number 1. But Goodall will get a chance to pitch for the Mavericks in that tournament, along with both of his 2 brothers, Liam and Aiden. Liam is a position player, primarily an outfielder. And Aiden, a pitcher, another pitcher from UBC, who actually got the chance to pitch in yesterday's exhibition game for the HarbourCats and looked pretty good. Another HarbourCat connection is Broden Bydwig, who played here in Victoria at the very start of the West Coast League season, when the HarbourCats had some roster spots to fill with a lot of players who hadn't arrived yet at the very beginning of the West Coast League season. And Bydwig looked very solid and at shortstop primarily, and at the plate, and getting a lot of chances to hit high up in the order. And the final ex-HarbourCat is Dylan Thorpe, another former Victoria HarbourCat who will be on the Mavericks team in late August. Nothing in 2-pitch here to Trey Bigford, is flown to center. Drifting to his left to make the catch is Faulkner, 2 down. Another HarbourCat connection, though not on the field, more in the dugout, is during the men's national tournament. They are not being managed by him today, but during the national tournament, Jim Swanson, the managing partner for the Victoria HarbourCats, will be returning to the dugout to be the skipper of the Mavericks. Swanson does have quite a bit of experience coaching at this particular tournament. He has coached at 5 prior men's nationals and has won 2 gold medals and 2 bronze medals in the past. Those 2 golds coming in 2012 with the Prince George Axemen and in 2014 with the Langley Blaze. So that'll be a great opportunity for Swanson to get back into the dugout and do something he hasn't done all that much of late. This one's flown into pretty deep center field. Faulkner back, and on the warning track, he reaches up to make the catch, and that's the inning. 1, 2, 3 go the HarbourCats here in the 6th, and we head on to inning number 7. Still 10-5. Mavericks lead it.
Take a look down the third base line. Harvey's down there. We got Hammy, we got Liam, we got Linnea, and we have our contestants who are Gabby and Hannah. Gabby and Hannah are part of the contingent here supporting A.J. Lewis from the Victoria HarbourCats. The whole goal here is to knock somebody else down and then go knock down their Good Life Fitness stand-up. On your mark, get set and go! Harvey gets just a little too involved in this, don't you think? Harvey wins the belly bump competition every time. Thank you to Good Life Fitness for bringing us the Good Life Fitness bubble balls. And use.ca, thank you for being out there and supporting us through all of it. Use.ca is throwing some more shirts up in the crowd, turning this place purple. Today's game sponsor, Use.ca. And they brought a lot of purple shirts with them today. New pitcher for the HarbourCats is number 15, Jessie Simpson. Ladies and gentlemen, the attendance for today's game, we thank you very much. It was a very fun and productive weekend with the Chilliwack concert yesterday. The Victoria Mavericks played a couple of games here today, 1,743. We thank you very much. The batter is the left fielder, number 9, Brendan Summers.
To the top of the 7th we go, and Jessie Simpson is the new pitcher for the HarbourCats. Another non-roster add-on for this exhibition series. Chance for him to rejoin the HarbourCats. He has pitched this summer in another non-league game for Victoria, the graduate of Lambrick Park Secondary School in Victoria. And it's 2-0 here to Brendan Summers, the extra hitter. There's a strike to Summers, and it's 2-1. Summers today 1 for 2 with a couple of runs scored and a walk on his line. That one in there as well to even up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one a high fastball at 85, and it missed for 3-2. Count is full here from Simpson to Summers. And that one comes inside and will miss all the way to the backstop for ball 4. So I don't think that was the pitch that Simpson was looking for on 3-2. But it'll start out the inning with a walk to Summers, and back to the top of the order go the Mavericks for Josh Campbell.
Second baseman number 5, Josh Campbell.
Campbell was retired in his last at-bat for the first time in 3 plate appearances. He's 1 for 2, 3 runs scored, a walk, and a hit by pitch. So Summers at first here for Campbell, and he is ahead in the count 1-0, facing Jessie Simpson. That one rolled foul towards the Victoria dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Simpson a peek at the runner at first, and now comes home with the 1-1. That one is up high. 2 balls and 1 strike, now the count. Well, following this game, the HarbourCats will have one more non-league exhibition game tomorrow before they resume WCL action, with 9 more games left in the regular season, 6 on the road this week in Yakima Valley and Wenatchee, before they'll return home for a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series next week against the Portland Pickles. That'll be the first ever visit for the Pickles, who are a new expansion team in the West Coast League this season. First ever visit for them to Victoria. Last pitch got all the way to the backstop, and Summers advanced to second base. It's now 3-2 as that last pitch caught the zone to fill the count to Josh Campbell. Here is the 3-2. And that will miss as well for ball 4. So back-to-back full counts for Jessie Simpson, and he's missed on the last 2 3-2 pitches he's thrown.
Center fielder number 11, Chris Faulkner.
So Campbell reaches base for the 4th time today, and now Faulkner steps up to the plate. He also is 2 for 3. A couple of runs scored, a couple of RBIs. And the only time that he was retired was the last time to the plate, where he knocked in a run with an RBI groundout. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's fouled back by Faulkner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Faulkner went 1 for 3 with an RBI and a couple runs scored in last night's game. And here today, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. So it's been a productive 2 days for him. I think this is the type of a series where for Faulkner, he'll be wishing that the national tournament was starting tomorrow on Monday here at Wilson's Group Stadium, the way he's been swinging the bat. He's ahead here of Jessie Simpson, 2 balls and 1 strike. And that one's downstairs. It's 3-1. So Faulkner should get something to hit here. Simpson does not want to load the bases with nobody out, all on walks. And the 3-1 pitch is on the way. Hit hard down the line past Nikki Gibbs and into right field. 1 run scores. Here comes Campbell. He'll stop at third. And it's another double for Chris Faulkner. And it's 11-5. Scoring all the way from, actually from second base was Summers. Josh Campbell looked like he wanted to take the turn around third, but was held up.
Third base, number 29, Duncan Blades.
And so the walks do come back to haunt Simpson in the inning after he walked the first 2. One of them's come in to score. The other one, Josh Campbell, is over there at third base with nobody out, and it's an RBI chance here for Duncan Blades. First pitch to Blades missed from Simpson, 1-0. And Blades in this game has walked 3 times. Has a run scored to show for it, but he's 0 for 1. Simpson trying to get back in the zone here on 2-0. And this one's drilled to deep center. Racing back is Miller, and it is caught on the run. Nice catch by Miller. Tagging and scoring is Anderson. And now a second run will come in that actually got over the head of Miller. It looked like that ball was caught. Now the HarbourCats will throw it back to second base. And a bit of a strange play. They're ruling safe at second. So the HarbourCats thought that ball was caught. I thought that ball was caught, but it was actually over the head of Dustin Miller in center field, and it's a 2-run double.
First base number 19, Lance Burrows.
Or no, they are going to rule that it was a sac fly and an out, but scoring all the way from second on the sac fly was the trail runner. So a very strange play indeed, indicative of the game that we've had here today. And it's 13-5 now, the lead. What Todd Haney, the assistant coach for the HarbourCats, was asking them to do was to throw it back to second to appeal if the runner left early from the bag at second. You don't see it very often where someone can score all the way from second on a sac fly, but that one was hit well to straightaway center, and Dustin Miller in center field had his momentum carry him all the way back towards the wall. There's a swing and a miss by Lance Burrows, 2-1. But it was a wild game right from the outset with 7 runs in the first inning, 5 more for the Mavericks in the second. There's a stop by Haney, the long throw, and it's not dug out by Gibbs at first. So that should be a hit for Lance Burrows, deep in the hole to short.
There's number 25, Charlie Strandland.
This one hit down the left field line. That's a fair ball, and this is trouble. Racing around second to third, getting the stop sign at third base is Burrows. Runners now at second and third as the Mavericks are once again whacking the ball around the yard here in the 7th. They had just scored 1 run in the 4th inning, nothing in the 5th or 6th. Make that 1 in the 6th, but had yet to have a real big inning since the 2nd, but they're back adding to the hit column, adding to the run column as well, with 3 across and perhaps more here with 2 outs and 2 men in scoring position. This is Brandon Ashford, who started yesterday's game behind the plate as the catcher. He'll get a chance to pinch hit with those 2 men in scoring position. That one comes in tight, almost hit him. So it's Burrows at third, Strandland at second, as the pitch misses once again for 2 balls and no strikes. They say he went around. Ashford could not check his swing, so it's 3-1 now. Check that. There's just one out in the inning. So still an RBI chance here for Ashford. If he can put something in play, but instead he's going to take his walk down to first. And this has not been a kind inning to Jessie Simpson.
Number 6, Sean Murphy.
Bases loaded here for Sean Murphy. And he takes a strike, 0-1. That one up and in. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike now. Murphy fouls it back for 1-2. So it's Ashford at first, Strandland at second, Burrows at third. Here with 1 away in the top of the 7th inning, already 3 runs in the frame for the Mavericks. And this one's hit in the air to left field. Malinchuk makes the catch, tagging from third, and coming in to score is Burrows. And that'll make it 14-5.
Catcher number 13, Connor Moulton.
That'll bring Connor Moulton back up to the plate, who is 0 for 4 today with a strikeout, so he has yet to really get in on the fun for the Mavericks. He'll love to pick up a base knock here if he can to try to knock in a run, or at least get himself in the hit column. 14 runs on 15 hits now for the Mavericks. 5 runs on 7 hits for Victoria, or the HarbourCats, I should say. This one is flown to shallow center. Miller underneath it, and he'll put it away to retire the side. It's another big inning for the Mavericks. 4 runs across, and it's time to stretch here at Wilson's Group Stadium. 14-5, the Mavericks lead it.
Singing the 7th inning stretch, take me over to the ball game.
So good.
Let me show you why. Our growers, they select the beans, not as easy as it seems. This one's perfect, that one too. So many great beans to brew. Premium Arabica, ship them off to Canada. Arrive at our roastery, sorting, roasting every bean. Taste test each cup. Coffee masters give thumbs up. Handcraft fresh brew. Spreading joy is what we do. From bean to cup, that is how we brew it up.
Cool. How you make the donuts?
Leading off for the HarbourCats, number 39 center fielder, Dustin Miller.
Bottom of the 7th inning, here is Dustin Miller leading it off for the HarbourCats and taking a strike from Luke Lampard, still looking strong on the mound through 2 innings of relief, allowed no runs and no hits, just the 1 walk with 1 strikeout as well for Lampard. 1-1 the count on Miller as the HarbourCats trail 14-5 here in the bottom of inning number 7. And here is the 1-1. Miller with a bouncer foul, 1-2. Well, the crowd has thinned out some. Crowd of just over 1,700 on this Sunday afternoon here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Has thinned out, I think, in the last inning break with the 7th inning stretch, and a big lead for the Mavericks. It has been, it has to be said in all honesty, a bit of a sloppy game on both sides, but especially the HarbourCats side. In terms of right from the outset, a lot of runs coming in to score for the Mavericks on a lot of base runners reaching via walks and hit by pitches. Miller will draw a walk here as the HarbourCats get their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 7th.
From the University of Nevada, the catcher number 34, Matt Clayton.
Matt Clayton will get a chance to hit. He's 0 for 2 to this point in the game. Tanner Haney will be next. Just the 2nd base runner that Lampard has allowed in his 2+ now innings of relief. First pitch fastball at 81. There from Lampard is up high to Clayton. Ball and no strikes. There's a throw back over to first. Miller back in. Clayton, a high fly ball. Deep left field, Strandland back, and he will watch it sail over the wall. A 2-run shot for Matt Clayton to inject some life here into the Wilson's Group Stadium crowd. And it is 14-7. So that's the first hit that Lampard had allowed, but he pays for the leadoff walk to Miller on a 2-run shot there for Clayton.
From the University of Texas, the shortstop number 2, Tanner Haney.
So still nobody out. Bases are clear after the home run ball, and Tanner Haney takes ball 1 from Lampard. There is a right-hander now up and throwing for the Mavericks in their bullpen down the left field line. Haney with a pop-up to shallow center. This one could be a tough play, but making the play on the run is Faulkner. Had a ways to go from straightaway center, but made the catch for the first out. So that'll bring Blake Wagenseller up to hit.
Number 51, designated
Wagenseller 0 for 2 with a punch-out today on his line. HarbourCats have scored 7 runs now in the game, but they haven't had a whole lot going really offensively since the first when they scored 4 runs. That one's fouled off by make that by Wagenseller, and it's 0-2. Was just going to say Hunter Vansaw has been lifted from the game with the 2 for 2, couple of doubles and a run driven in. Nikki Gibbs, who's driven in 2, that came back in the first 2 runs of the game for the HarbourCats with that 2-run double. He is still in the game. This one to Wagenseller, misses up high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Congratulations, for the information booth to claim your prize.
Breaking ball in behind Wagenseller that time. I think Lampard just lost the grip on it. So it's 3-2. Wagenseller and Lampard there, I think, just sharing a laugh. So no hard feelings on either side. Count is full here, 3-2. And that is strike 3 called. Wagenseller down looking on 3-2. Nice comeback pitch from Luke Lampard for his second strikeout in relief.
Outfielder number 50 from Pepperdine, Michael Malinchak.
Back to the top of the order now for the HarbourCats with 2 down, and the base is clear. Mike Malinchak the hitter, and this one's flown to left. Strandland over to it, makes the catch, and that's the inning. Matt Clayton goes deep for a 2-run shot, but Luke Lampard shuts down the HarbourCats from there, and we head to the 8th, 14-7. The Mavericks are still in front.
And today's Dizzy Bat Race, our contestants are... You guys give me the contestant names? It is Cole, Nicole, and Nadine who are doing it. On your marks. Get set and go. Put the bat on the ground, no cheating. Look at the page 2070 Lucky program, 30 minutes of free jump time, a coupon from Flying Squirrel. The indoor trampoline park located on Viewfield Road in Esquimalt. Flying Squirrel, page 2070 Lucky program, 30 minutes of free jump time. You got trouble. Not bad, girls, not bad. One mishap. New pitcher to the Victoria HarbourCats, number 7, Zach Swanson.
Top of the 8th inning, and a new pitcher here for the HarbourCats. It's Zach Swanson, who will get a chance to throw here in the 8th. And he fires across strike 1 to Mitch Davidoff. That one is a little high for 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled back and out of play there by Davidoff. 1-2. That one at 79 on the radar gun from Swanson. Count now even 2-2 to Davidoff. He came in to replace Jeremy Campbell, the starting right fielder. A lot of different players on either side have gotten into today's exhibition game. Good chance for both managers to empty their benches and give guys a run out there on the field. 2-2 pitch misses in the dirt, and it's full 3-2. And the pitch from Swanson is high for ball 4. So Davidoff draws the walk to start the inning. That's been a common theme for HarbourCats pitching this afternoon. A lot of leadoff base runners for the Mavericks and a lot of leadoff walks. And as we know, in this game, those often come back to haunt you. And they certainly have for the HarbourCats here this afternoon. In total, the HarbourCats pitching staff this afternoon has issued 10 free passes to Mavericks hitters, as well as 2 hit by pitches. This one could be 2. There is 1, and the relay throw back is not quite in time. So the lead man is retired, thereby Nikki Gibbs throwing down to Tanner Haney covering the bag at second. And replacing Davidoff at first is Summers. So the Mavericks will turn the lineup over back to the top, and Josh Campbell will step back up to hit. Healthy cut there on the first pitch from Swanson and fouled back to the screen, 0-1. Oh, 1 pitch is down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. Big breaking ball just up high, and it's now 2-1. 4 runs scored now for Campbell. He's reached base 4 times in 5 plate appearances this afternoon. That one lined over into the dugout area of the HarbourCats. It actually just missed the protective fence over there, as a couple players had to hop out of the way. The count is even here, 2-2 on Josh Campbell. And Swanson sets for the pitch. That one bounced to the plate, and it's 3-2. Nice pick out of the dirt there from Clayton as well, off the pitch that bounced a little bit in front of home plate. Here now is the payoff pitch, and that'll miss as well for ball 4, up high to Josh Campbell. The 3rd time he has walked today, and the 5th time he's been on base. In each of the previous 4, he's come around to score. So it'll be Chris Faulkner getting another chance. And Faulkner flies one in the air to deep left field, back to the wall, and it's gone. A 3-run shot for Faulkner, and what a day he is having. 6 RBIs for him, 4 hits, and this one's a home run. And that will make it 17-7 Mavericks. And as we were just talking about, what's been the storyline all day long for HarbourCats pitching is the leadoff walks, the early walks in innings, and the Mavericks doing a good job of making those come around to herd. And once again, they do that here with Faulkner sending those that ball over the wall and left, and allowing those first 2 walks to start the inning both to come in to score. By the way, now with that run for Campbell, he scored 5 of the Mavericks' 17 runs. He's certainly done his job in the leadoff spot, setting the table for Faulkner to follow him. One pitch is up high, 2-1 here on Duncan Blades. Blades has reached base with 3 walks and a single in this game. So he pops this one up into foul ground. Jack Smith gives it a look, and it'll get out of play. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one up and in, and it's full 3-2. That'll miss from Swanson for ball 4. And so Blades reaches base once again. That's the 4th time he has drawn a walk in this game. Lance Burrows will get another chance to hit here.
Number 19, first baseman Lance Burrows.
First pitch misses here from Swanson up high to Burrows. 1 ball and no strikes. Just out of the corner of my eye, with the HarbourCats no longer being able to use their bullpen here in this 2-game series, with some of the construction equipment over there in the Victoria bullpen from the concert last night. All the HarbourCats relievers, whenever they go to warm up, they go down to the left field line to use the Mavericks bullpen. And I just saw Nick Playa get up and trot down there with a pretty big smile on his face. So I think that might tell you he was lobbying pretty hard to let the HarbourCats coaching staff let him pitch, and he might get a chance to get into this game. There's 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. 3 more runs across on the 3-run shot by Chris Faulkner. 2-1 pitch is flown to right field. Jed Fagg will make the catch, and that'll be out number 2.
Number 25, Charlie Stratton.
So this will be Charlie Strandland now. He himself has had a good day at the plate. 3 for 3, a run scored, 2 runs driven in, and a walk on his line. Strandland with a big swing and a miss on the first pitch fastball from Swanson. Playa, by the way, is now warming up in the bullpen down the left field line. So we think this will be Swanson's inning to finish, but Playa could very well get a chance to come out for the top of the 9th. One ball and 1 strike. This one misses up high to Strandland. 2-1. Another one just high from Swanson for 3 balls and 1 strike now to Charlie Strandland. That one will miss for another walk. So Swanson did have the base open at first here with 2 outs. So there's now 2 on and 2 out for Ashford, who will step back in to hit. There's a strike, 0-1 the count. Ashford, as mentioned, got the start behind the plate in last night's game, or yesterday afternoon's game, I should say. Went 1 for 3 before being lifted for Saginowicz, who finished the game behind the plate. Two balls and a strike here on Ashford. This one popped foul and out of play. That'll even the count to 2-2. There's 2 on and 2 out here in the top of the 8th inning. Blades at second and Strandland at first. Another pop up, foul, and it remains 2-2. Two balls and 2 strikes, and the pitch to Ashford is up high, 3-2. Three-two pitch up high once again, and that'll load the bases with Ashford drawing the walk. Clayton will trot out to the mound to have a quick word with his pitcher, Zach Swanson, try to settle him down before the start of the at-bat with Sean Murphy. Murphy, another guy who has come into the game midway through it, did not start the game, but he's 1 for 3. He's had 3 at-bats already with an RBI. Came in for the starting shortstop, Jared Gale, who was 2 for 2 at the time when the switch was made.
Number 6, third baseman Sean Murphy.
Ashford takes a ball from Swanson to start the at-bat. The bases are now loaded with Blades at third, Strandland at second, and Ashford at first. Here's the 2-0 pitch. This one is hit in the air to deep left field. Back at the track, underneath it to make the catch is Malinchuk, and that will retire the side. 3 more for the Mavericks in the 8th, and they have a big lead, 17-7, as we go to the bottom half.
For a pot of $651. And we seem to have some glitching going on the screen. It's a green ticket for $651. Here's the number. 0, 0. Oh, we're showing. Let me start that again. Here's the number. 0, 0, 3, 4, 3, 2. 3, 4, 3, 2. Thank you, Savon Foods, supporting BC Children's Hospital. 0, 0, 3, 4, 3, 2. It's worth $651.
BCLC is proud to be a part of communities across BC. From entertainment and great prizes to jobs and support for the tourism industry, the benefits of our business are province-wide. Every year, our players generate more than $1 billion for the province of BC, which is used to support healthcare, education, and community groups. Together, we play it forward.
One of our original partners dating back to 2013 with the Victoria HarbourCats. We appreciate it greatly. New pitcher for the Victoria Mavericks, number 15, Daniel Bednarski. From Washington State, number 13, the third baseman, Jack Smith.
Bottom of the 8th inning here at Wilson's Group Stadium, 17-7. The Mavericks are in front of the HarbourCats, and it's been a great day for them as they have one final tune-up here on this Sunday afternoon before they return to this ballpark, Wilson's Group Stadium, in late August for the men's national tournament. And if these two games are any sign, the Mavericks should be a contender in that tournament. They have looked very good, and I know the HarbourCats have not played particularly well in this game, to say the least, but the Mavericks as well, I think, have really gone out and asserted themselves. A lot of the guys in the lineup especially. Look at Chris Faulkner with 6 RBIs and 4 hits today. Kyle Orr had 3 RBIs in yesterday's game. 3 hits and 2 RBIs, including a home run for Charlie Strandland today. Also 2 RBIs and 2 hits for Nick Saginowicz. Jack Smith will draw a walk here to start out the bottom of the 6th, or the bottom of the 8th, I should say. The new pitcher is Daniel Bednarski, the righty for the Mavericks. There is also a right-hander who is throwing in the Mavericks bullpen. Dustin Demeter will get a chance to hit here with a runner at first and nobody out. There is strike one to Demeter from Bednarski. Oh, one pitch now is flown to left field. Strandland back on it towards the wall. He'll make the catch for the first out. Jack Smith will head back to first. Demeter trying to take on the opposite field that time. Just came up a little bit short. So one down for Nikki Gibbs, who way back in the first inning, which feels like it was yesterday, but it was just earlier this afternoon. Gibbs hit a two-run double that made it a 3-2 game. HarbourCats allowed those 3 runs to come across in the first, but Gibbs and the HarbourCats responded with 4 in the bottom half to take a 4-3 lead. Gibbs got the HarbourCats on the board with those first 2 runs as he launched a double into the left center field gap. But it's now 17-7 Mavericks, and it'll take a lot of doubles into the gap or home runs or what have you for the HarbourCats to make a game of this. Gibbs a bouncing ball foul past third base. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jack Smith with a small lead off of first. Gibbs a line drive base hit into left field, and Smith will advance to second. So there are runners at first and second now for the HarbourCats with 1 out. And getting another chance to hit now is... looks like it's going to be a pinch hitter, actually. Trey Bigford. Bigford came into the game for Hunter Vansaw, so this is his second at bat, actually, for Bigford. He flew out to center field his first time up. There is something doing here for the HarbourCats in the bottom of the 8th, with Jack Smith in scoring position at second and now Gibbs at first, and just 1 out in the frame. Big swing and a miss there by Bigford on the first pitch from Bednarski. That one an 82-mile-an-hour fastball. Nothing in 1 the count as Bednarski sets at the letters for the pitch. And there's a strike in at the knees. Nothing in 2. So Bigford deep in the hole now. We'll have to protect the zone here on nothing in 2. This one is punched foul down the first base line. Late swing by Bigford. It's just a little bit of a soft liner, but had that stayed fair, I think it would have been over the head of Burrows at first. Still nothing in 2. And outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Easy take that time for Bigford. Bigford flies one to right field, backpedaling towards the fence to make the catch is Davidoff, and that'll be out number 2. So Bigford put a bit of a charge into that ball, but it just hung up long enough for Davidoff to cruise under it. And now it's Jackson Fagg, who way back in the first inning knocked in a run with an RBI single. He is 1 for 3. And he takes strike 1 there from Daniel Bednarski. This one in the dirt, and it bounces away from the catcher. I think Jack Smith didn't know exactly where that one bounced to, which caused him to stay put at second, of course, and that is the right decision. If you can't see the ball, don't want to risk trying to advance.
Congratulations to Steve.
And I think Jason Leone is giving him a hard time about that now. He's pointing to home plate. Jack Smith just put his hands up and shrugged as if to say, I couldn't see the ball, coach. But that's what happens in a 10-run game in the bottom of the 8th inning of an exhibition non-league game. Still first and second for the HarbourCats with 2 down. And the 1-0 pitch to Jackson Fagg. That's a strike, 0-2. Here's one rolled over to second. Right to Josh Campbell. His throw on to first is in time. And that's the inning. The HarbourCats do get 2 men aboard, but can't scrape a run across and still trail 17-7 as we head to the 9th on Go Live Broadcasts and Shaw TV.
Pitching for the Victoria HarbourCats, number 23, Nick Gibbs. The catcher, number 13, Connor Faulkner.
On to the 9th inning here at Wilson's Group Stadium. A big lead, 10 runs, the margin for the Victoria Mavericks over the Victoria HarbourCats, 17-7 the scoreline. And in a exhibition game with a lopsided score, we're going to get a chance to see Nick Playa pitch here in the 9th. This is downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here the count to the catcher, Connor Mountain. 1-1 pitch is stroked into center. This will hang up in center field for Miller, who makes the catch, 1 away. So a pretty routine 1 out for Playa and the HarbourCats to start the 9th inning. Well, for a lot of position players who have made the decision to be position players instead of pitchers, of course, this is a dream opportunity for them. And it looks like Playa is having a fun time out there, getting the chance to pitch in this game. Of course, another guy who comes to mind from the big leagues who looked like he was having a ball on the mound was Anthony Rizzo of the Chicago Cubs, who had forever been begging Joe Madden to let him come into the game to pitch. and finally got a chance. And Rizzo did retire, the only batter he faced. So he is leading the world in earned run average at 0.00. So let's see if Playa can do the same here in the 9th. Count is 1-2 on a close pitch that just missed to Mitch Davidoff. That one's a little high from Playa. 76 miles per hour on that pitch. We did see him touch 81 with the fastball in his warm-up pitches in the inning break. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Playa punches him out for out number 2. And Playa with a little grin back into the HarbourCats dugout with his first strikeout on the mound. So it's Brendan Summers hitting with the bases empty and 2 away. And the first pitch from Playa to Summers is outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Overall this afternoon for the Mavericks, 17 runs on 16 hits. For the HarbourCats, it's 7 runs on 9 hits. This one is popped foul. And it's a ball and a strike. Well, tomorrow the HarbourCats again have another non-league game coming up against the Union de Reyes under-23 team from Cuba, which will be the first ever matchup between a West Coast League team and a team from Cuba. That'll be a fun night, I think, tomorrow at 6:35 first pitch, with the history being made and also a chance for some Cuban collegiate level players to play against some American and of course a couple of Canadian HarbourCats players. This one rolled into left field for a base hit. So the inning will continue. Playa unable to work through a 1-2-3 top of the 9th. And back to the top of the order for Josh Campbell now. That, by the way, was Jaden Cull, not Brendan Summers, who was able to reach base via the base hit in that last at-bat. One 0 pitch is in for a strike, and it's 1-1. And another grin and a chuckle there from Nick Playa, looking at some certain members of the HarbourCats dugout. I'm sure they won't let him forget about this if he allows some runs to score. But at the same time, if Playa puts up a blank top of the 9th, I don't think he'll let those guys that have been, I think, having a fun time with him forget about it. Now Playa is shaking off his catcher, Matt Clayton. He wants to go through the signs again. And he's set for the 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. What a job by Nick Playa in the 9th. Brings some light and some humor to an otherwise rough day for the HarbourCats at the ballpark. He gets high fives all around as he leaves the field. And the Mavericks looking for 3 more outs in the bottom of the 9th with a big lead, 17-7.
Now pitching for the Mavericks, number 21, Mitch Davidoff. Reminder everyone, we got a big night tomorrow at Wilson's Group Stadium at Royal Athletic Park. The first ever game between a team from Cuba and a West Coast League team. It's never happened before, and also Cuba's never played a baseball game here in Victoria, so history to be made tomorrow night. And a chance for you to be part of it. Tickets are actually going quite fast for that game, so you may want to get us online, HarbourCats.com/tickets. Or see if somebody can get you after the game at the box office over at the office. Possible that can happen too, but try it online is your best way to buy HarbourCats tickets. HarbourCats can go on the road to play in Yakima and Wenatchee, the final road trip of the season. And then the final homestand of the regular season will be August 6th, 7th, and 8th. August 6th is fireworks. Get your tickets. Those are moving fast as well. August 7th, we're going to do the shirts off our backs. And August 8th, will be fan appreciation night. Now batting number 39, from Chico State, outfielder Dustin Miller.
On to the bottom of the 9th inning, and it's a 17-7 lead for the Victoria Mavericks over the Victoria HarbourCats here in the second of this two-game non-league exhibition series. The Mavericks will be leaving Victoria feeling good about themselves, and they'll hope that when they come back here in late August that they can replicate these types of performances in the men's national tournament, and if they can, they'll be in good shape to try to contend and maybe even lift the Baseball Canada men's national title. This is Dustin Miller, the center fielder, starting off the bottom of the 9th for the HarbourCats, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Mitch Davidoff has moved in from right field to the mound to pitch here for the 9th. This one's yanked down the right field line, but it'll go foul off the bat of Miller. Still 0-2 the count. Davidoff with the look in. And the 0-2. Just dips low, and it's 1-2 strikes. Well, the HarbourCats, of course, playing 4 straight non-league exhibition games. The one in Nanaimo on Friday, the 2 here on Saturday, Sunday against the Victoria Mavericks, and tomorrow against Team Cuba. 4-day break from the West Coast League, but they'll get back at it on Tuesday night in Yakima Valley for a pivotal 3-game set. The HarbourCats want to have a chance to still catch the Pippins and qualify for the playoffs in the second half. They're going to have to win for sure that series, but most likely they'll need to sweep it in Yakima Valley. Count is 3-2 here to Miller as he pops it foul. We'll do it again. Just to check in on the West Coast League today, there is one final to tell you about in Port Angeles. The Lefties 7-4 winners over the Walla Walla Sweets. There are 2 games that are underway and 2 that have yet to get underway here on this Sunday evening. This one's flown to center, and the catch is made by Faulkner on the run. Nice play for the first out. The 2 games in progress in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Bend Elks lead the Wenatchee Apple Sox 2-0. And also in the bottom of the 4th, those Pippins are tied 1-1 with the Cowlitz Black Bears down at Story Field in Longview, Washington. So the HarbourCats hoping for a helping hand from the Black Bears tonight. The 2 other games yet to get underway, Corvallis and Kelowna at Elks Stadium in Kelowna, and Bellingham and Portland from Walker Stadium in Portland. 0-1 here to the catcher, Matt Clayton. And Davidoff delivers the pitch. That one is downstairs, and it's 1-1. Well, it's been a long game with all the runs coming across to score, especially in the early innings. The first 2 frames took more than an hour to play. I think it was about an hour and 5 minutes. And from there, we had a bit of a quicker middle innings, but the Mavericks have gotten right back in the run column with 4 in the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and 17 runs on 17 hits in total here this afternoon. Pitch here from Davidoff misses outside and in the dirt. 2-2 to Clayton. Still, though, I don't think the HarbourCats will be all that concerned with the game today. There's a foul back by Clayton, and it's 2-2. We would expect to see them put put a bit more of what we normally see with their normal lineup on the field tomorrow, and that includes the pitching staff. A lot of guys who aren't actually on the HarbourCats' normal West Coast League roster got a chance to pitch in this game. And some fared better than others, but tomorrow against Team Cuba, I think, will be a good competitive game between the Union de Reyes team and the HarbourCats. So although it's just an exhibition contest, that'll be a game that I think the HarbourCats want to try to win to get some momentum and feel good about themselves as they hit the road for Yakima Valley in those 3 pivotal games against the Pippins. Here's a walk to Clayton as he will trot down to first with 1 out. Davidoff just lost him on 3 and 2. Tanner Haney will get another chance here with 1 on and 1 out.
Sponsored by Bear Construction for Wallace Scrubbing School Fireworks on August the 6th.
Haney in this game 1 for 3 with an RBI. And he takes one downstairs. 1 ball and no strikes. The count from Davidoff. Here's the 1 out, tapped up the middle, and this is through into center field for a base hit. Going first to third is Clayton. Here's the throw into third, and it is in time for the out. Clayton can't believe it, but it will be out number 2 in the 9th. Haney stands at first. Good throw in from center field by Faulkner to throw it right on the bag at third, and the tag was applied there by Blades. Right on the foot of Clayton.
Designated hitter from Campbell, number 51.
So the HarbourCats are down to their final out tonight. And the hitter will be Blake Wagenseller. That one misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes. And there is strike 1 to even the count. 1 and 1. There's a breaking ball trying to catch the inside corner, come back, and just missed inside from Davidoff. It's 2 and 1. Wagenseller ahead in the count. And he fouls this one away. Now 2 and 2. Coming into this at bat, Wagenseller is 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, so still trying to get something positive on the board here with 1 final at bat for him. Count is 2 and 2. And popped foul. We'll do it again. Tanner Haney aboard at first with 2 outs and the 2-2. In the dirt, good block by the catcher. Full count. Tanner Haney will be off from first on the pitch here with 2 away. And that'll miss for ball 4. Haney actually wasn't taking off on the pitch, but he could have if he wanted to, of course, with a 3 and 2 count and 2 outs, but it winds up not making a difference as Wagenseller takes the walk. So first and second, 2 outs. Mike Malinchek will get 1 more chance to hit. Well inside, it gets all the way to the backstop, and both runners will move up for the HarbourCats. So Haney goes to third, Wagenseller goes to second, and it's 1-0 to Malinchek. Mitch Davidoff and the Mavericks looking for 1 final out to put the finishing touches on what was a great day for them here at Wilson's Group Stadium. Malinchek fouls it away, 1 and 2. Make that 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a strike, and now it's 1-2. So 2 men in scoring position here for Malinchak. And the HarbourCats down to their final strike. 1-2 is slapped foul down the left field line. Good emergency hack there from Mike Malinchak. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. That is strike 3 called, and that's the ball game here this evening as the Mavericks enjoy a big 17-7 victory over the HarbourCats in their final tune-up here at Wilson's Group Stadium before they will be back here in late August to play on home soil for the 2018 Baseball Canada Men's National Championship. Mavericks flood out of the dugout to do their handshake line. They'll also shake hands, I believe, with the HarbourCats. Big day at the plate for Chris Faulkner, 4 for 5 with 4 runs scored, 6 RBIs, and a walk. He also had that big 3-run home run to really put the icing on the cake for his day at the dish. And a number of other Mavericks with productive days at the plate as well. Well, we thank you for tuning in here this afternoon on Shaw TV and Go Live broadcasts. For Chris Jaycox in the broadcast truck, my name is Mike Edwards. We'll be back here tomorrow night for another non-league exhibition game against the Union de Reyes U23 team and the first ever matchup between a West Coast League team and Team Cuba. We'll see you tomorrow night back on Go Live broadcasts.
Thank you very much, and good night.